I'm the king of sketch design.
What do you think, that paper crown makes you the king of sketch design?
The crown doesn't make me king. The checklist on the back of the crown makes me king. What's going on, guys? My name's David Tomic and welcome back to the channel. Probably don't need the crown on for this video, let's put that away. Today we're talking about sketch design and what you need to do to be able to produce a good set of sketch design documents. I know a few of you have been asking, so take some notes and let's get started. So there are a number of things that you need to follow in a sketch design set of documents. However, there's only really three main sheets that you need to produce. The cover page is obvious. I'm not even going to talk about the cover page. But you need to include 1, a site plan, 2, the floor plan or floor plans, depending on how many levels it is, and 3, elevations. The purpose of the site plan at sketch design stage is to indicate the location of the design against the property. It is very important that you get some sort of feature survey that will be able to tell you the levels and the contours of that block, because that is absolutely crucial. If you go and design for a flat block and then all of a sudden you find out that block is sloping 5 meters every single meter, you're in big trouble. So the first key element is obviously get a feature survey. A couple basic points to get out the way is you need a north point and a scale bar on the site plan. You also need your title block with all the details filled in. When we look at the actual drawing, you need to showcase the feature survey, which shows the boundaries and all the levels on it. You need to showcase the external walls only of the property. We don't need to see any internals just yet, so external walls only. You want to be able to showcase all the plumbing features as well. That means sinks, toilets, showers, baths, etc. Whatever you can think of that's plumbing related, make sure you show it on the site plan. Stairs and ramps are also an important factor that you show on sketch design for the site plan. It's something that's transitioned all the way through towards the end, but it's good practice to keep at the very beginning. The rest of the site then indicates the landscaping, the driveway, the pathways, and anything that might be of critical importance. If you have a very large tree in the middle, it might be good to note that you might need to remove that tree or design around it. Finally, the one thing that you want to showcase is your area calculations. How big is the ground floor living? How big is the garage? How big is the storeroom? How big is the alfresco? These are the things that people need to know, especially if you're going to a build-up very early on. They can quickly look at these numbers, put some of their own numbers together and spit out a very generic rough price. Now, if you aren't taking notes, that's okay. This checklist is available to download on my website. So if you look down in the description below, you'll find a link to this checklist to download today. And because it is a 28-day challenge, I will be giving away 10 of these checklists to you guys. To be a winner, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram. Leave your Instagram handle in the comments below and I will pick a winner at the end of February. The site plan in general should be at a minimum of 1 to 200 scale. You want it to be this size because it doesn't need to showcase detailed information, but it needs to showcase the whole site. Moving on to the site plan gets a little bit bigger. It goes to 1 to 100 scale because you want to showcase everything inside that building. Depending on the size of the design, if 1 to 100 doesn't fit on A3, you're gonna have to move up to A2, A1, or A0. Once you hit the A0 stage, if it still doesn't fit at 1 to 100, then it's up to you to decide if you wanna shrink it down or if you wanna split it across multiple pages. Similar to the site plan, you wanna showcase your north point, your title bar, and of course your scale bar on the floor plan itself. We continue to show just the boundary lines of the property, not the rest of the feature survey information. We also show all the external walls and the plumbing, the stairs, everything we showcased on the site plan, but also start to include the more detailed items, like the internal walls, all the internal doors, all the openings, all the doors, all the windows. The floor plan is about showing size, scale, and movability. So it's important that you start showcasing some numbers straight away. You want to be able to understand how big a room is and what that room is. So make sure you title it, for example, bedroom 1, and underneath you have the size of that room. For example, 4 meters by 4 meters. Something to take note of is furniture isn't critical, but furniture is a good indicator for clients who don't know about scale drawings to be able to understand space. If you put a bed inside a bedroom and you can see a decent amount of space next to it, the client's immediately going to know that, yep, okay, I have plenty of space in that room. Alternatively, if you show that bed in a room that's too small, then obviously the client is going to be able to pick up and go, that room seems a little bit too small for me. I'd like to be able to add a chair, for example. So again, furniture, not critical, but it's definitely something that adds to the experience. You also want to showcase all 4 elevation markers of the entire property. So if there's 4 sides, you're obviously going to show 4. If there's more than 4 sides and you need to showcase more, well then it's up to you and your discretion to make more elevation markers if need be. If you're designing a 2-story, 3-story or more, it's also important to showcase the roof on the floor below. Now finally, the elevations are again 1 to 100 and they are a lot more diagrammatic at this point in time. The purpose of the elevations is to showcase the architectural interpretation and expression. It's to understand what the architect is thinking and to convey that to the client. So it is predominantly about materiality and scale. Like all your other pages, the title block remains on that page. However, the north point and the scale bar can be removed. Because now you're showing 4 elevations more than likely on one page, the orientation of the north point is very different, so it's no longer required. It's important that we start showing a little bit more detail in relation to the site here. So we want to be able to showcase the natural ground level, which is interpreted from the feature survey information, and the future ground level if you are altering that site in any way, shape or form. So for example, if it is a cliff and you want to bank into it, build a retaining wall, it's important that you show 1, that retaining wall, and 2, that new ground level that is eventually going to form that level of the house. We're predominantly focused here on the external walls, the windows, the doors, and the roof. You want to be able to showcase all of these elements, but at the same time show a materiality legend or some sort of key to indicate what each material is. Some people do it by actually noting each individual item at Sketch Design. Other people note it with a legend by cropping out a tiny piece of the building, moving it across and saying, this is glass window, for example. How you do it is completely up to you. But one thing that you do have to remember is again that scale proportion. So we want to indicate story heights and story levels. So if you start at the ground floor, you move up, for example, to the ceiling of the ground floor, which is 2.7. It can be 2.7 meters above natural ground level, and then you might have your next floor, which is 3.1, and then your next floor, which is another 2.7 above it, so it would be plus 5.8. I think you get my point. If you don't, I'm happy to explain further in the comments down below, just let me know. And that's all you really need to know for Sketch Design, guys. It's 3 very basic pages with some basic information that gets the architectural idea across the line. Anyway, that's all from me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. And because it is February, I will see you tomorrow.